Welcome to 100 Days of the Glitcher Origin. We're going to be trying to do our best to complete all the challenges listed here today with as minimal deaths as we possibly can in the 100 days time span. The challenges are, of course, beating the Ender Dragon, collecting ourselves an Elytra, getting some shulker boxes, getting a full set of Netherite gear, and beating the Wither. Will I be able to successfully beat this challenge without dying too many times? How many deaths do you reckon I'm gonna get? And hey, while 30,000 looks nice and all, let's see if we can try and push that to 40,000 before the next 100 days video. Either way, let's begin. So, day one, as always, you gotta go get that wood almost immediately, and almost all the time when I do any form of survival series, whether it be something that goes on for a short period of time or for a long period of time, I tend to always try to aim for a stack of logs before I finish off collecting my trees. Anyhow, after I get all the logs that I would normally gain for the start of a survival series, I head off to the closest cave that ended up being around. Now, lucky for me, not only is there coal right at the end of the cave, there's also some iron. So I collected the 3 stone I need to get a stone pickaxe, collect another 8 for a furnace, a few for the coal, as well as all the 3 iron that was sitting there, smelt down that iron, and make myself an iron pickaxe, quick as presto. In the midst of all that nonsense, I successfully kill a creeper with a stone pickaxe. Yeah, I don't know how I did that, I just did, so yeah, but the second one wasn't so successful. The next one would actually blow up the area, but that's besides the point. Anyhow, I move into the actual cave system itself and collect all the iron that was within the area that was about at spawn level, which I would move into my own little cubbyhole in the actual cave and start digging down to the level of diamonds. When I made it roughly down to a Z coordinate of 12, I somehow stumbled and put on another cave. When I check out the right side, there's nothing interesting down that way, but when I go to the left side, there just so happens to be some diamonds sitting right next to some lava. I swear I did not purposely pick the seed, this was complete and utter random. Anyhow, after collecting the 5 diamonds that was in that small diamond vein, I head up back to my cubbyhole and realizing that it was now day 2. Moving into day 2, day 2 was almost as balanced productive as day 1 was. We go in to get some more iron, we start doing some more strip mine. I decide to go back up and grab a bucket of water in order to get myself enough obsidian to make the portal. I go back to more strip mining, but then I'm not paying enough attention, mine up an open space and fall into lava right next to another lot of diamonds, and then die and lose all the gear that I'd collected already. I know, very overly... shit. It's one of those days. It's one of those days. One of those days. Yeah, not exactly the greatest day 2, is it? So that's death 1 on the counter for the series thus far, and I guess we'll see at the end of the series on how many deaths I will get in total in this 100 Minecraft days. The biggest thing that sucks about this is it practically resetted me back to the start of the game all over again, making all the progress I made on day 1 absolutely useless because I had almost everything on me aside from a handful of iron ingots that was sitting inside the furnace. The other unlucky bit, it was nighttime of day 2, meaning that I was respawning outside where there was a huge collection of mobs. So not only did I need to grab myself some more wood, I also needed to find my actual area where I was intending to have my little cubby hole in order to get back to my furnace and crafting table, which is still there despite the fact of losing everything else. Anyhow, after wandering around the overworld for a little bit, I successfully find my way back to the little cubby hole that I had made a little earlier, where I have my furnace and crafting table sitting at. I then spend the next couple of Minecraft days strip mining around trying to regain the resources that I lost to the death in lava. I collect enough iron to make another set of iron armor, I collect another set of iron to get some more iron tools, but I was unlucky and never collected any more diamonds until I stumbled upon another big cave after a few days of strip mining. In this cave I discovered another handful of diamonds, but just enough to make a diamond sword and a diamond pickaxe. With this newly required gear, I end up going back down, getting some more obsidian for myself and crafting a nether portal, flint and steel, and going into the nether and start exploring. Whilst I'm on my little bit of exploration, I end up killing a couple of endermen and collecting around 6 ender pearls. As well as I continue to do my exploration, I find a basalt delta that has a bastion sitting in it, as well as a nether fortress not far to the other end of it. Anyhow, as I tunnel my way towards this nether fortress, I end up failing upon the same exact thing that got me on my first death by not being aware enough, being too fast for my own good, and speeding over an open hole that dropped me down into the lava down below. This then becomes my second death of the series thus far, and another one that incurs of me dying in lava and losing all the gear that I have, meaning that I am back now to square one, except for the fact that I have a few bits and pieces stored up in a chest and I have a nether portal already. But as I said beforehand, I only had enough diamonds to collect the tools that I did take with me into the nether, meaning that I have no diamonds whatsoever, nor do I have any of the ender pearls that I collected beforehand, as they were all lost to the lava in the nether when I stuffed up yet again. Anyhow, back to mining for the 3rd time in a row of repeating this process because I'm an idiot and keep dying to lava. I guess the lucky part is that despite the fact that we we died on day 7, losing all of our gear. I somehow find another 9 diamonds before the end of day 7, get up another full set of iron armor, get another diamond pick and diamond sword, and even have 4 diamonds to spare inside of the chest just in case I die to lava yet again. Anyway, for day 8 we're going back into the Nether for another adventure. Instead, I decided to change plans, and instead of going back into the Nether right away, I decided that I'd actually start to set up shop, get myself a bed, and actually start making an actual base area. I guess a good thing for me was there was a village not too far from where I currently was situated. Around 100 blocks away I would find an actual village. Now, the first thing I would actually do is make sure to slam the bell a few times and encourage all the villagers to head back inside of their home so I could actually block them up, make sure they have a bed, and make sure they don't die whatsoever. I decided that I would start transferring my items all the way over to this area here, and I decided to take a bed with me knowing that nighttime was approaching. When I made it over to the cave, it was already nighttime, so I slammed down the bed and take my first ever nap in this Minecraft series thus far. Anyhow, after spending the next day transferring all my items over from my current cubbyhole inside of the cave into my new villager hut area, I decided to go out and start collecting the bits and pieces I need to get for an enchanting table. I go back down to the mine and collect some more obsidian as well as some other bits and pieces along those lines, and one beautiful thing that came with this village is it already had a few cows already locked up in a pen and also had some wheat in the area, so I've been using the wheat in the farm as well as the cows to actually breed a lot more of them, and I've just been casually killing the rest of the cows that are also outside in the area around the fences. And of course, because we're in a more of a desert plain slash biome where there tends to be a lot of sugarcane around the rivers and water in the area, so I ended up collecting a lot of it with admitted ease. By the time I finished collecting up some bits and pieces around the area, I used all the resources that I have to craft the enchanting table and 4 bookshelves as well. Of course, at this point in time, I'm not thinking about enchanting anything because I kind of want to get a max level enchanting setup before I start doing that, as I want to try and get at least a looting 3 sword before we take our venture into the Nether so we can get some wither skulls as easily as we can. Anyway, I noticed that we're on day 13, so I decided in the meantime, whilst grinding up the resources and things that I will need to actually finish off this enchanting table set, I decided to actually start grinding up some terracotta in order to start designing and making the plans for the main base for the 100 days. Anyhow, now that we have the resources necessary, let's roll a quick time lapse going over the entire house building process, which took a total of 10 Minecraft days. Anyhow, after completing this new main base area, I shift my chests and stuff for one last time to this new area, putting my bits and pieces all in this new house, moving my bed, sleeping for another night, and then now, I'm actually going to put the work together to actually put the enchanting table together. So I head over and kill all the adult cows in the pen, leaving the orphans on their own, go around, collect all the sugarcane from the area that I can possibly grab, and as well as rob some bookshelves from the librarian's house as well. And after 2 days of crafting and gathering, we've collected all the resources required to make a maxed out enchantment table. But you see, one big problem I have here, I'm only level 24, so I decided to head back into the Nether, start grinding Nether quartz in order to gather up the levels required, and I also collect a few endermen along the way whilst I'm doing some grinding. Before I claim my 3rd death of the series thus far, before I show you exactly what happened and see my pure frustration too, I just want to quickly explain to you one core issue with the 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. The 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼 has a weakness to fire, meaning that fire does far more damage than normal, and including with that, you also have less health health overall, and you have no natural regeneration, and you can't even use fire resistant potions whatsoever, meaning that fire will hurt. You touch lava just even for a quick moment, it could potentially lead to your death if you're unable to heal in a quick enough time frame, if you don't have any regeneration potions or anything along those lines. And you'll witness me here as I find out that that's the thing that I'm going to have to deal with. You're kidding, right? You're kidding! Oh. Probably the thing that got me most about that was the fact that I was literally like probably 1 quartz block away from getting to level 30 and not needing to continue to do this. But you know what? That's just how it's gonna go some days. You just get screwed. Either way, going back to it, I go back, retrieve my stuff because hey, it didn't burn up in lava this time around, and go back to XP grinding. I kill a bunch more endermen, I start mining towards the Nether Fortress, then start to head back once I make it to the end, realize like, yeah, I'm probably gonna need some extra gear to get through this. And on my way back, I try to mine a tunnel directly back to the main portal, and my pickaxe broke. And we all know I don't have the diamonds right now to get another diamond pickaxe, so we go back into the mines, we go get some more diamonds, and this time around we come out with enough to not only get another diamond pickaxe, we also get another diamond sword, we get a diamond chest plate, get some gold boots, and another full set of iron hat and pants in order to re-enchant it all and gear ourselves back up as we head back to the Nether to go and collect our 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼, which, as we already know, as I've already stated just before with the other death, I have no fire resistance abilities whatsoever, no natural healing, and I take a lot of damage from fire. So you can already think that fighting the blazes, getting myself some 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼 is going to be a painful and very stressful experience to deal with. Either way, let's get into that. So because I was a bit too lazy to go find the first tunnel that I dug, I decided to dig an entirely new tunnel towards the Nether Fortress, and on my way there, I somehow came across some netherite sitting inside of the wall. I'm at a Z level of 55, so I don't quite understand why I spotted it, but I mean, 2-3 netherite to go? Okay, I guess so. I guess it was a good thing that I did mine up a new tunnel after all. Anyway, I keep tunneling towards the Nether Fortress, and I make it down to the end there, and I decide to make another tunnel going all the way around to try and just like nicely do it so I don't get hit by the blazes until I'm right inside of the actual Nether Fortress. It was a bit of a... it was an interesting thing to go through because it wasn't exactly extremely easy to go through. It was kind of like I had to play around, I had to place blocks, I had to use my long length reach to my advantage in order to make sure that I wasn't going to get sniped by some blazes before I was too close to them. Anyhow, after creating a safety tunnel towards the actual Nether Fortress, I break my way in and deal with a couple of withers, which ultimately withers are not going to be too much of a problem for me to deal with, so when I have to come back later in order to farm up some heads, ultimately it's not going to be too much of an issue to deal with because I don't take the wither effect, so they're really just only their actual fist damage, their sword damage that's actually going to do anything towards me, and everything else is just avoidable and I can just easily kill them. Anyhow, I move out to the boardwalk and I find a blaze spawn, and I go all the way past it and try and make a little safety area for me so I can at least slowly work my way out and try and do the best way to actually go in there. Currently the plan was just to try and lure them over to my direction so I can beat them with my sword right up front, but then I decided over time to just go up to the actual blaze spawner itself, cover all the way around it with some cobblestone, dig into the underside of it, so the blazes were spawning on top of me and floating around me and I can just poke my head out and start fighting them. But my words can't exactly express how tense this entire thing was, because it's one of those things where if I get hit too many times, I was dead because there's no way to live through the fire because I take double damage from fire, I cannot use fire resistance, and I only have so much healing that I can possibly do. Anyhow, after I get the 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼 that I needed to make enough Iron Enders to actually set up an end portal, I just skedaddle. I legitimately, the moment I had enough, I ran. I did not spend any more time doing anything else. I just wanted to get out, go back home, and not worry about that for another day. I made sure to put waypoints down at each end of the tunnel this time around so I know where it is inside the Nether Fortress and where it is on my end of the Nether, so I know how to get back to it when I do want to go back to the Nether Fortress in the future. But either way, I got the 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼 that I needed. I was getting the hell out of there. Anyhow, once I get back to base, I turn all my ender pearls into eyes of enders and I throw out one out to see which direction I will need to go roughly. Either way, once I find that out, I go over to the village that was on the other side of the desert I found out, encounter a temple on my way there, blow it up because I didn't like the loot that was inside of the actual temple itself, collect a bed from the other village and start heading towards the direction that I was stead at. Go around 500 blocks, throw another one. I just do this process every single time. Typically, I go around 500 blocks in the direction it needs me to go, throw another eye of ender just to see if I'm still going in in the right direction or whether I'm above it and things like that. And once I finally make to roughly 1600 blocks, I encounter it as an open ocean one. So this means it's visible from the actual ocean, which made it pretty easy to get into, but very difficult to find out where the actual portal was, mainly because of the fact that ravines were cutting through this stronghold quite a lot, breaking it up into many different segments that I have to figure out my way through to find the portal frame. Anyhow, once I finally find the portal frame room, I break the silverfish spawner because it's completely and utterly useless and decide to light up the portal because, you know, it's there, it's got no eyes in it, may as well put them all in while I'm here. I decide that I would make my way back to my main base by making an portal out of the lava that's sitting around this portal room. Mainly because I don't have exactly a good bow, and despite the fact that I don't even have a good bow, I barely have any arrows in the first place, meaning that if I went through this end portal right now, I would 99.9% sure I would fail the end fight because there would be no way I can properly do it, considering I'm missing a lot of crucial gear for this type of thing. Anyhow, I decided to tunnel up and out of the portal room and encounter some water which came right down. I thought that was something beautiful I was going to need because I was going to go up, grab some iron, then get a bucket of water, but because the stronghold's close enough to the actual open ocean, I got some water down here and started to use the water to flow into creating all the lava into obsidian. This is where I'd make my fatal mistake. I'll just let you watch what happens. No. So now I had to make a decision. Either A, I take the fact that I'm not going to be able to do this and die in the end, lose all the gear that I have in there and have to build myself back up again before I fight the Ender Dragon, or make an attempt and see if I can possibly do it with a lacking amount of gear that I have. I decided to take the latter. Oh my goodness. Gotta keep my trusty torch on me now. I don't know how I did that, to be like oh, that was Anyhow, once I make it back to the overworld, I decide to, instead of going through the Nether to get back to my main base, I decide just to walk in the overworld, as it's only like 1,000 blocks and most of it will be swimming in. Because the speed gets a nice boost in swimming, we managed to get there pretty quickly. Anyhow, once I make it back to my main base, I sort out my inventory, and then I decide to make another pickaxe and another sword due to my current sword and pickaxe being on a low end of durability, enchant them all, and combine them all to get some pretty good enchantments. Upgrading my pickaxe to a high efficiency enchanted pickaxe, as well as upgrading my sword to a higher strength sharpness, as well as a looting 2 buff on top of it. Anyhow, after doing all this, I decided to head back out to the end portal that I had made out in the ocean-ish overworld. I don't know exactly where the biome is technically called. So we go back down to the end portal that I failed earlier to go and put a Nether portal around, but I go back in there, go to the outer end gate, and we go exploring for some end cities. Now, I got pretty unlucky with this, as for some reason there was absolutely no end cities anywhere near close to the portal that I was. Of course, looking at Chunk Base way later, I discovered there was quite a few around. I just went in all the wrong directions to not find any, and anyhow, after about half an hour of exploring, I find my first end city. It ends up being a very small one, not containing too much interesting aside from a handful of shulker boxes, and that's about it. After another hour and a half of exploring, I decided to go and choose chunk base just to find where my closest end city is and discover one off in a certain direction, and I head towards it. Anyway, as I get closer to these set of end cities, I discovered that it's not only one, but two of them, and they're both big end cities, and both of which also have an elytra ship, which I feel like is pretty lucky. Anyhow, we go in there, we collect all the loot from all the chests, we get a bunch of shulkers, which we get around 18 shulker shells in total, as well as we collect both elytras and all the health potions they all grab so we can have some better healing as well as our normal healing ability. And then I use my elytra to fly back over to the closest end gate that I discovered when walking over to these end cities, go back home, go back to base, get Unbreaking 3 on this elytra, and we move on to start heading for some netherite. So what's the best way to go about telling you that this next section of getting netherite took around 20 days of Minecraft, you know? All I'm gonna say, it's not gonna compare to anything like what this 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼 ends up becoming. Boy oh boy oh boy, you're gonna look forward to seeing that one come through. Anyhow, over the next 20 days I do multiple different things. First off, I do a lot of tunneling throughout the nether. I'd blow some parts in the nether up with a few beds and then realize that that's not gonna be very efficient to do. Anyhow, after collecting enough netherite to actually repair my pickaxe, which was almost about to break, I go back to the overworld and repair my pickaxe. I realized I didn't exactly get what I wanted, so I messed around the villages for a little bit in order to get myself a mending villager so I can actually heal up my pickaxe. Anyway, with dealing with that mess aside, people who are live on the stream know exactly how painful that was to deal with. We got ourselves a mending villager, repaired my pickaxe, and we went back down to the underground, and we did a lot of mining. Basically, my biggest tip for people who want to mine for netherite, pretty much just spam mine. Just mine here, there, everywhere, just look in every direction, just spam mine as much as you possibly can, as is the best way to get rid of a lot of netherite in a very short amount of time and find the actual netherite or ancient debris sitting in the actual walls a lot quicker and easier. Anyway, we go through and we collect a lot of it, and I mean a lot of it. I think I went a bit overkill with how much we collected, but hey, that's okay. We got more than enough to make our full set of tools and armor, and I realized that I've got a cursive binding iron helmet on, so I can't exactly get a good helmet at this point in time, but you know, we'll deal with it when the time comes. So on day 71, we make it back to the overworld, and we finally put some netherite on our gear. We get ourselves some netherite boots, netherite chestplate, netherite sword, and a netherite shovel to add to our collection. Unfortunately, I can't exactly do a helmet at this point in time because I've got a cursive binding iron helmet stuck on my head at this point in time, so that's just an unfortunate circumstance that I'm just gonna have to deal with for the time being. It's stuck there for the time being. It doesn't have mending on, which is really good and really handy. It means I can actually break it if I really want to, but it has Unbreaking 3, so that could be a while. Anyhow, we head back into the nether. We spend the next 15 days grinding wither skeletons for the wither skulls. There are two reasons on why this took so long. A, I had to be slow and smart about it, mainly because blazes are still a massive bane of my existence because they do so much damage that I'm very likely to die if I'm not careful when around them. And two, because I wasn't killing too many blazes, there just so happened to be a very low occasion of actual wither skeletons spawning, and I got pretty unlucky with my rates. I didn't get to kill too many wither skeletons in total, but it's just mainly because not too many of them were spawning. But anyway, it took me 15 days of a bit of grinding, avoiding blazes, almost having a few heart attacks, hitting a zombie pigman for a brief moment, and then I finally got my third wither skeleton, grab the soul sand from the soul sand valley, and make it back home to base. Now, we're at day 85 and decide, you know what, I want to build one last thing. I decided to build a wall around my village. I ran out of resources before I could finish it. There was originally going to be a time lapse here, but replay mod, after I closed out of the world, it broke. The file that was for the time lapse meant to be on that wall got corrupted. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I lost 10 days of footage because our replay mod said, nah fam, let's corrupt ourselves and go down to nothing. Anyhow, we make it to day 95 with absolutely no footage I can show you for the 10 days beforehand because it corrupted. I really hate the fact that happened. But now, for the final 5 days, I think it is time to close off this series by beating the wither in the air. That's right, we're not going to pussyfoot around with this. We're gonna do it in the air. We're gonna fly around fire elytra and rockets and beat the wither skeleton in the air. So let's get to it. So since I lost like the actual time-lapse footage that was used for this section here, I just want to go through what I actually did since I no longer have the time-lapse. So what I did first was I changed out the trim of the actual house from the normal cobblestone that was like it was everywhere. Now it's just at the top to black stone at the bottom 2 layers. I also created a very long elongated base to a wall. Like it goes all the way around like the village almost up to the river almost. I ran out of cobblestone. Then we've also got the nether nether bricks in here as well. Which this was like all the netherrack that I collected. Like this was probably 10-20 stacks of netherrack converted to this little amount of nether brick. This was around 10 days of actual Minecrafting. I really do wish I still had the time-lapse footage, but unfortunately the moment I exited out of this world, Replay Mod was trying to save it. It took its time and then it just corrupted itself. It broke and it failed to save the footage, so I lost like hours upon hours of this work. So that kind of sucks. Really does suck. But we're at the home switch, and I guess it saves a bit of editing for me. But hey, let's get to let's do the wither and let's get this done, hey? Okay, so here's a big moment. Here's literally the biggest moment. Like, this is literally it. If we still may die. We can still die. We are not out of the woods yet. But here goes another thing. Move away, 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 move away. I'm going. You're an idiot. You're gonna die. You're gonna die, go. Pray for me. I'm literally being followed. Okay, this is gonna get a bit complicated, ain't it? Go down, go down, go down, go down, get down, get down, get down, get down. We don't want to stay in the F too high, because if we go too high, he's going to go invisible and he's going to be more difficult to hit, and that's just not what we want. See from up there. Hey. We piss him off enough now. Cool. Come back down, boy. Come back down, boy. Back up we go, back up we go. Hit him again, hit him again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where'd he go, where'd he go, where'd he go? There he is. Hit him on the way down. Ow, he hurt, he hurt. Come back down, boy. Come back down, boy. Come back down. Got him. Got him. Got him again. Got him again. Keep hitting him while he's on the way down, otherwise he'll start to heal. Literally what we gotta do. Oh, he's on the way back down. Cool. And up in the air we go. Go again. I'm so glad we don't take any wither damage. Cool, keep hitting him, keep hitting him, keep hitting him. Fuck, we missed! Let him come back down a little bit. Cool. 3 hits, 3 hits, 3 hits. Good, 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 good. 1 hit, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Back up again, back up again. Oh fuck, up we go, up we go, up we go, up we go. We're going high now. Glide. 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 He's gonna come down with us. Well, at least we hope. I didn't even hit him. Good. Oh, he's so close! 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 Come on. Yeah! We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got him. We got him. Oh. There it is. There it is, boys and girls. There it is. Let's take a look at how much damage it causes the village. I mean, we used like half a stack of rockets there, which is okay. That's okay. That's okay. We didn't cheese the Wither. We fought him legitimately, and we didn't die. I'm glad of that, though. Ah, village ain't too shabby, ain't too village. Anyway, over to this village. Over we go. I honestly thought that I'd die at least once whilst they're doing that type of strat. Because I got no natural regeneration. That is literally the biggest issue that this origin has. No natural regeneration. Yes, you can heal yourself, but you still have no natural regen, so you have to be really, really smart in how you play it. So we have any obsidian. The fuck? Must have been a loose witherhead going out this direction. That's funny. Crying obsidian. We actually did it. We've actually done it. 100 days of the glitch origin. Oh, as the sun sets for day 98, we're literally 2 more days out. And I don't care. I don't care that we're this short of a day out. Like, I've done all the challenges. We've literally done all the challenges that we need to do as the glitcher origin. We've only died 3 times. Got a beacon? We have a beacon, boys and girls. Let's activate it. Give ourselves some more speed! We can only get faster, boys and girls. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's it. That's it, everybody. That's it. 100 days as a glitch origin. So, okay, I want to go through a few closing thoughts about this just before we end this one. I just want to say that the glitch origin is definitely underrated. I know a lot of people watched that video, but a lot of people said that it was weak and underpowered. For PvP standards, okay, I can say that that's a possibility. But when it comes to normal Minecraft playing, these disadvantages does make dealing with blazes or anything in the nether with lava a lot more painful than it normally is. But the fact that you don't take fall damage and you have a lot of speed makes it a lot easier to deal with things like the Ender Dragon. And then the fact that you don't take wither damage whatsoever, it also makes farming wither skeletons and withers a lot more easier than what it normally would be, to the point where we didn't even cheese the wither. We did him legitimately and we did not die, which I feel is really, really, really cool. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you're new around here. If you want to see more 100 days videos, check out the 𝓵100 days video, which should be coming up on the end screen now. And if you've already watched that, just check out some other videos on my channel. I'd highly appreciate it. There's a lot of content on here to do with Origins mod. If you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments down below. But until next time, guys, thank you for coming along and watching this video, and goodbye.